Hello! It's Gateway to Geats time, baby! Hey, and I'm on the right side. I bet you didn't see that. It's completely different, brand new show. I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna be able to handle it, but also, hey, it's the holiday season. I hope whatever you're celebrating, you are doing it with family and the people that you care about. But we gotta talk about some Kamen Rider. You know what? I really hope, in the spirit of the holidays, nothing fucky happens this episode. That'd be really nice. But first things first, we start with Sumori doing a recap like she's been doing, and Ace wakes up. And seemingly, he doesn't have any memory of what's been going on. He has breakfast with his dad until he has to go and do his superstar stuff, you know? Pretty simple things. Sumori then comes in and goes like, hey, was this the right thing to do? This doesn't feel right. And the game master basically goes, shut up, it's right, we need him to not win. You know, all that kind of stuff. And then we get our theme, and it's fascinating. It's weird going through our theme and not seeing our main character in the ensemble bits. I don't want to say it's refreshing. It's just it's a weird experience, you know. It's an interesting vibe to start this episode with. But after the theme, we come back. The game master is having a conversation with the gardener, basically going like, "All right, cool. Geats is out of the way, but we're still gonna win." And the gardener's going like, but maybe we'll win this time. And the game master goes like, "No, you will not win." It's interesting to see because like it's definitely framing this whole thing as much more of a competition between the two of them, and I don't know if it's meant to be kind of like I don't know, I'm not sure how to take it, but it's definitely like they are not on the same side, but they are both being used by someone higher. My immediate thought is maybe like because there's so many corporations sponsoring the show, maybe they're both like, I wouldn't say scientists, but they're like both the heads of certain projects, like the Writer Project, the Giamato Project. And basically the games are a way of proving that their project is more substantial, more real, like more, what's the word I'm looking? It's more profitable. That it's worth investing time and energy into. But then again, I think, how would that work with all the like wish making the desires happen? Like, is these two factions just like aiming for the same goal? Is it like the corporation's hiding something and these two people are trying to like effectively beat the thing in two different ways? Maybe that's it. I don't know, but they're in competition and we don't know everything going on yet. Either way, the boss monster shows up and our crew, Buffa, Nago, and Tycoon, are sent out to go beat it, and Tycoon and Nago are they're a little weary. It's just like, Jesus, we don't have the main character. This is kind of fuck. But either way, they resolve and go on to fight. Try their hardest, but Jesus, there's a lot of baddies getting at them. Meanwhile, Ace is doing his superstar shit. He's modeling, he's doing all that kind of stuff, but the Giamatos attack, and he immediately helps people. It's interesting to see kind of like how duplicitous Geats is. You can tell he's a good person, but he really puts on the air of like, I don't give a fuck about others, and I'm going to be cocky asshole, but you can tell he cares. Ace then runs out and finds all the Kamen Riders. And remember, he doesn't have any memory right now. And he just goes up and goes like, what the fuck's going on? All the riders getting beat. Keiwa and Neon are off to the side trying to deal with Giamato Rider. They're getting their ass kicked. Partially, I think it's just because it's not that they can't beat it. It's that they're very disheartened that Geats is gone. Because, like, those three are, like, they're the friends. They're the crew. You know, they're the crew. Buffa's just the Vegeta. He's the Shadow, you know. The guy off to the side. But, Keiwa and Neon both basically tell off Buffa for being headstrong idiot all that kind of stuff. But Ace shows up, and Buffa just goes full Vegeta of like, no, I'm strong and I'm gonna beat this thing. Goes headlong in danger and gets blown up for his efforts. He gets fucking wrecked. And now he's lying in Ace's arms, and legit, he goes full Vegeta of like, why can't I beat you? And is everything that he said, like, I could fight and win, a lie? And all this kind of stuff. And basically he goes like, you know what? Fuck it. If you believe in this so hard, go and fight and win. And he hands the driver and the core to Ace, so he starts to remember things again. As Buffa is eliminated. Buffa's gone. And it's like, oh, holy shit, that's interesting, And then we are back at the clubhouse, and the game master shows up and goes like, what the fuck are you doing here, Geats? You're not in this game anymore. And Geats just lets the whole cat out of the bag. Now, hey, this is the game master. He's been a dick. And Keiwa and Neon are immediately like, oh, you fucked over Geats. Why would you do this? Geats is like powerful and he can help people. And the game master is like, yeah, all that kind of shit, right? And meanwhile, and all that time, through this conversation, the game master basically goes like, God damn it, you had a plan, didn't you? You knew this would happen, and you had something to get yourself back in here. As we then go through a flashback of Geats basically doing that. He wakes up, he sees a couple letters, he sees the message underneath, a poster saying like, hey, go run into Common Riders and touch their belt, you'll be good. All that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, the game master is still like, well, you're not in the game anymore, and I decide who gets to be in the game, and you're not in it, fuck you. And Keiwa and Neon say like, yo, no, we're not strong enough to beat this thing. We also have a lot of fucking questions of like where the Jamatos are coming from, because they're saying some fucking sus shit, and it's like, what the fuck? And Geats rightfully calls out the game master for treating them all like pawns of like, hey, no, we're risking our lives for the fucking world and we're trying to protect it. We're not pawns, we're useful, we're power, we're like, that kind of stuff. And Samuri, who has not been happy with any of this shit going down, basically fucking Ace Attorneys this whole shit and goes like, hey, yeah, Game Master, remember Geats' first wish that he would be in every single DGP? That he would get to participate in every single one of them? Yeah, I'm invoking that. He's still alive. He's still able to fight. And she just hands him his belt. And everyone goes like, all right, Geats, can you just save the day? And he was like, yeah, I'll go save the day real quick. He goes, gets his shit back, and just fucking wrecks house. Because he has all the experience. He knows what he's doing. He goes, beats all the guys, uses the most recent power-up, destroys the boss. But the game isn't over yet. What? Nothing's dissolving, nothing's turning back time. And Samuri basically says like, hey, there's a new aspect of the game. As we cut back to the Game Master talking to Keiwa and Neon, basically saying like, hey, we're gonna have a tournament. And that's the end of the episode, and we get to the rule aspect, and it says, the rule is a game doesn't end until the Game Master says so. Like, he acknowledges that it ends. And it's like, holy shit, fuck. He wants Geats out of here. He is doing whatever he can to do it. This was a good episode. This was a really good episode. Really fast, really quickly paced. Not a ton of lore, but there's a good amount of theming put in here. It's a lot more, like, thematic. Because there's a whole lot of talk about like pawns and what is using other people and all that kind of stuff, and it's invoking a lot of aspects of people in power pitting people with similar interests against each other for their own goals. And it's like yeah, you want your desire, even though it'd be better if everyone worked together and beat the thing. Kind of like nulling the idea, like that's what the Game Master was doing originally. Like he had Keiwa on the team for Buffa and Geats to like learn humility. It just seems more of like he doesn't want that, and it's going against what he intends for the game. And all the players are starting to realize, yeah, this is a little fucked. We should probably work together. And it's like, oh no, they're rallying around Geats kind of thing. Maybe that's kind of the vibe we should be taking from going on forward. But because it is better for everyone that Geats is in the game. He's experienced, he's knowledgeable, he has the skills available, and he can teach others, he can help others. Because ultimately he cares in his own way, and he wants to get the job done. He wants to fucking save the world. Like, he wants to do that. And ultimately, the Game Master just doesn't want him there because he's too close to the truth. He's too close to it, you know? And with the work together theme that the show's been kind of using, it's definitely feeling much more of like the people who are doing the hard job should work together somehow. Like that, like working together is better than just trying to be individuals and achieving your dreams. Working together and achieving everyone's dream is better. Like, you know, some kind of unification of some kind. Wait, hold on. Let me take the lens off. There seems to be a mark on it. Either way, this episode is really, really good, and the implications for the next few episodes are going to be wild. But before this video ends, we have some comments to talk about. Wahoo! Wackadoo! So, first off, from Insconde. In addition to that one Yamato writer that was saying Jinpin's line, the Rook Yamato also says the line from another eliminated writer, Shiroe, the polar bear writer from episode 1, that he's not like you, Buffa. These are comments from last video, by the way. And with that, like, just like putting all that together, there is definitely something going on with the loss of desire and the Jumatos. What that link is specifically, they're probably going to go into detail, but like they are building up that link, especially with this episode where people hear the lines and they get flashbacks, and it's like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely building to that, and it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens there. From Fish Pop, good old Fish Pop. They often do a lot of good comments. The bodyguards had cores that seemed to be White Tiger and Black Panther. Said cores matching the person's ethnicity feels uncomfortable, but they're both cats, which makes up for Neon being a feline for a whole trinity. Ultimately, I don't think this was meant to be like a big, like, oh, the white guy is gonna get a white thing and the black guy is gonna get. I think it was unintentional. It was just like, hey, here's the fucking thing, put them on these guys. It's a bad accident. It's not great, but I wouldn't immediately scream they're doing something. But at least the cat thing's kind of neat. And theirs might be the big rub. It's like, we want them to have cats like Neon. What can we do? Oh, well, we got these guys, and black and whites are pretty easy colors. Here we go. You know, that kind of thing. It's an accident. I feel like it's an accident. I don't think it's intentional, but it's not great. It's groan worthy. It's groan worthy. It's not evil. If you get what I mean. And from the Vacuuminator, you know what? A guy with that same name just recently made a 3-hour video describing all of Code Lyoko. I wonder where you could find that. So we have already seen John and Ben's. We may have already seen John and Ben's The Bodyguards writer forums, because the magazine scan that revealed Game Master's writer suit, Kamen Rider Glare, there's been 2 writers being controlled by him in one of the corners, and people have been theorizing that's them based on the drivers. Here's the thing, we probably have seen them, that's more definitely them than not, but I would love to see them just be like full-on writers, you know what I mean? Give these 2 fucking dudes a chance to be full-on common writers, not just mooks taken over by the bad guy. I want them to have at least one fight scene for themselves as common writers. It would just be nice, you know? And it's not even like just like, oh, it's representation and anything. No, fuck it. It's not the representation. It's just like, it's nice that they're acknowledging some seemingly an international audience of like, hey, we know you guys watch this show. Here's some guys that are like you. Okay, I guess that is representation, but it's not needed representation. You know what I mean? It's a cherry. It's a cherry on top. Ultimately, I would like to see their core masks. You know what I mean? But ultimately, hey, that was this episode of Gateway to Geats. I hope you enjoyed your episode of Kamen Rider Geats. I hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about it, and I hope you have a great holiday season with your family, with your friends, whatever and however you celebrate. And hey, you know what would give you a great gift to me? A like, a comment, and subscribing to this channel to see these videos and more coming up soon. I promise I have more like scripted content coming out and video essays and editorials. I'm working on them. I'm really proud of what I've gotten so far with some of them. But hey, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, stay Gateway to Geatsing. I guess that's the catchphrase.